This is the 2024 BMW M4 Competition MX Drive Coupe. This is the LCI, which is Life Cycle Impulse, which is basically facelift, but BMW calls it LCI. The key is quite basic, similar to other BMW cars, but this is a very special car because this obviously produces 530 horsepower, and straight away I'm going to be opening the engine bay because the engine is the real highlight here. There it is, it says BMW M Power. Strut braces, you have the option to get them in carbon fiber as well. There is no insulation here, which is a good thing because you want more sound on the inside. And the engine bay seems quite packed here. This is where washer fluid goes in. Gas struts, of course, and then I'm just going to drop it down like this, and there it shuts. It's super duper light because this again is carbon fiber. Optional bits like these graphics, it says M right there, and this orange color looks fantastic. Now the grille hasn't grown on me at all. It looks quite weird. It's very ugly as well. You get a camera here at the front, says M4 Competition right there, the BMW logo. This is the panel for ADAS functions, and if you notice, there are a lot of openings here on both the sides for better breathing, of course, and this is finished in carbon fiber. You get 6 parking sensors at the front. You obviously get a towing hook. The lights have been revised, so the design is the same, but on the inside the LEDs have been rearranged, so it's a little bit of a different treatment. And when you turn on the car or unlock the car, it obviously pulsates like that. That is the projector setup on the inside, and these are functional vents. Yeah, very much functional. You get this sort of a splitter treatment as well. The bumper is super duper aggressive here, and obviously the DRLs convert into the indicator. No, they don't actually. The indicators are separate from the DRLs, which is a good thing as well. But the car looks absolutely phenomenal once you come to the side. Firstly, the tires, they are staggered tire setup, 19s, 20s on the competition. On the regular M4, 18s, 19s. What is the tire size? 275, 35, 19 here. Alloy wheel design looks gorgeous. Same alloy wheels on the M3 Competition as well. In fact, if you notice, golden colored brake calipers because these are carbon ceramic discs. But what is this fake stuff happening here? It says M4 Competition, but this is fake. You get a camera here, typical M mirrors right there, finished in carbon. In fact, this is also finished in carbon fiber. The roof for better or rather lower center of gravity. No sunroof here. Shark fin antenna right there. And the rear tire is obviously bigger here because that's a 285 30 20. Again, carbon ceramic disc. Alloy wheels look awesome. Tire size is like really very wide there. You get 6 parking sensors there. But if you notice, there's this sloping roof line right there. The length is around 4.8 meters. The wheelbase is almost 2.9 meters. Yeah, the car looks super sexy because it's a coupe. You also get the convertible. This is the G82 LCI. The G80 is obviously the M3. And at the rear, what has changed? The lights. So they're changing the lights here and there. You get this carbon fiber lip spoiler here. Camera right here. I was expecting the BMW logo to open and clean this, but I'm not able to find that option here at all. It says M4 Competition. In fact, everything is blackened out. The logos are blackened out. Earlier they were finished in silver. This is the rear fog light on the other side. The same place. That is the reversing light. And there's a lot of stuff written on the inside. Class 1 laser product. You know why? Because these are laser lights. In fact, they have got optic fibers. The same lights as the M4 CSL, which is obviously discontinued now. Indicator working right now. It says BMW laser on the inside. The design of the lights is just amazing. It looks phenomenal. This is a reflector treatment here. Again, very aggressive bumper. You get the diffuser treatment. You get quad exhaust, very much functional exhaust, real exhaust. So the car is quite loud. Ground clearance is also low. This is obviously the towing hook, and because the car is so hot, a lot of mosquitoes are right now jumping on the car. Just move aside. Let's open the boot. And it's a power tailgate. 440 liters is the size of the boot, but there is no spare wheel here. What is this? I think this is the tire pressure inflator. It's quite well secured right now, so I can't really open it. But this is the first aid kit, and obviously you can put the seat down by just pulling this. So it becomes a bit practical there, but 440 liter boot isn't big enough. I press this button and there shuts the boot. Yeah, does it quite smoothly there. Color looks phenomenal. 6 parking sensors at the rear, obviously now because it's got self-park. Fuel goes in right here. In fact, you can also mount a roof rack. So I can just open this like this, yeah, and then secure it. This is for the roof rack, obviously. So you've got these mounts as well. Let's get inside. Okay, the car is locked itself. I don't know why. But let me unlock the car, and there it is. So M4 is written here. However, the M4 written right here below the headrest actually eliminates at night. So I'm just going to pull this lever. Yeah, now it will automatically go ahead. so that I can get inside. Now it gets carbon fiber seats. Front carbon seats are just amazing. I think they're optional, but they are quite comfortable. Look at them. You get the tickling function as well, provided the masseuse can actually sit behind, which is quite difficult. Amazing. Let's get inside, which is a tough job because space here isn't the best. But before that, let me actually put this seat down because it's a 40-40 recline. Center one also reclines over. Yes, it does. It becomes a sort of a armrest. Space at the rear isn't the best, but there's some storage space here. Yeah, that's about it. Chintu Mintu storage space. Speakers here. There's a hook here. No height adjustable seat belts. Space is not the best. In fact, this is best for children because underthigh support is poor. Headroom is not adequate. My head is actually touching. Light placement here on the top, and this is sloping now, so obviously headroom is not the best. It says airbag right here. No adjustable headrest here. Isofix child seat mounts obviously, and M colors on the seat belt, which is quite cool. The dashboard gets certain revisions too. The steering wheel is actually new. You get rear AC vents, but no charging ports because children obviously don't have phones, and getting in and out is very difficult. Yeah, it's a tough task because it is lacking in space completely. So I'm just going to jump out, and as soon as I push this, it will automatically go back. Yeah, that it does very nicely. There's a button here. I think that is probably to turn on something, but we'll see it on the other side. The glove box is decent sized, and it says Faisal Khan BMW M4 Competition MX Drive. So this car does not belong to me, and this manual is actually 400 pages. Yeah, that is quite big. This is for the parking thing in Germany. You just have to put it on the windscreen whenever you're leaving with the time, so people know when you're going to be leaving the car. And there's some spare part lying here. It says one piece. Let's just shut this. Nice lining right there, but not going to shut so easily. Yeah, because this is not very spacious. The glove box is Chintu Mintu. You can turn off the passenger airbag from here, and I'm just going to roll down the window because I can frame less. Obviously, it looks super duper cool. Look at it. Isn't this super duper awesome? Yeah, the design is phenomenal here, and that's one of the major reasons why this car sells so well is because of the design. But I think honestly it's the performance which would blow your mind. Now if you notice, there are 3 cameras. Obviously it gets BMW's connected drive. Okay, the doors are very heavy. Let's shut this. So 3 cameras, lane keep assistant, all that. There's another sensor here for rain sensor, and there's another camera that is the dash cam, so you can actually do recordings if you want. It's giving me some information here on the vehicle's weight actually. And let's get to the other side. Before that, let me show you that vent is very much functional. Car is heated up a lot. It says BMW LED. Can you see that? Yeah, it says BMW LED right there with this blue tinge on the inside. The CS model actually has some yellow tinge. I don't know why. And as soon as you get inside, you realize that this car's interior is absolutely top class. Now you can press this button to open the boot. Some storage space here. That's actually the bottle holder. This is the high visibility jacket. That's very important in Germany. You can save up to 2 people settings. I press this one button, and there you see the seat is completely moving. The thing is that the steering is not electric, only the seat is electric actually. And it says Harman Kardon right there. In fact, this is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, but on the other side it's a dummy because that is configured for right hand drive markets. Beautiful pedals with the aircraft design on the brake pedal. It says M right here, some secret storage space here, and these are the controls for the lights. Obviously, seats are super duper awesome, like amazing seats. Fantastic. I can adjust them in a multitude of ways. So I'm just going to put it back. It says airbag here. It tells me the tire pressure recommendation. If you notice, the recommendation is for below 250 kilometers per hour driving, but we are going to hopefully be driving more than that, so I've obviously pumped up the pressure. Some information here to dial someone for something or the other. And let's just shut this. Before that, it's saying vehicle key is missing. The key is actually with me, so don't worry about that. When I press a button here, okay, it's saying door open. I'm actually trying to press this button to see what happens, but nothing is happening. I thought it's going to come to the seat menu, but it's not doing that. The heads up display is just amazing. It gives you plenty of information. It's just next level. I love the heads up display. You get this carbon fiber sort of a treatment here, which is very premium. Yeah, the dashboard is actually amazing because you get this curved screen. 14.9 inch, 12.3 inch. You get this new steering wheel, I think from the 5 Series. Says M here, flat bottom treatment. Notice the carbon finishing here. The paddles are just amazing, and the minus and plus is actually engraved in that. If you notice one thing from behind, okay, I'll have to open the door to show you. From behind, it's not exactly carbon fiber, but from the front, obviously, it looks carbon fiber. M1 and M2 buttons, which obviously programmable. These are the controls for the indicators. That is for the wiper control, and this thing is adjustable, but manually, both for reach and rake. Manual adjustment at this price, kind of weird, but I think that's for weight saving probably. And the window area is actually big enough. You get a mirror here along with a light. You get a microphone here. You get light placement here on the top. It says SOS. Same is the case here as well. Yeah, you get all of that. There's mosquito which is come. Just leave right now, will you? We're just going to shut this. AC vents are very unique here. This is how you actually move it. This is new ambient lighting here right above the center AC vents, and again carbon fiber sort of a finish. Meanwhile, below the center armrest you've got some storage space, and there's a USB-C charging socket which is not a fast charger. There's a light. BMW also gives you this cloth because they also know it that every screen is now a fingerprint magnet. Thankfully, we get a proper gear lever. Oh my god, I missed you so much, because newer BMW cars have this button. So you obviously have to move it around like this. This to get into drive, this to get into reverse. It's a bit different to operate, and this is to increase or decrease the intensity of the shifts. So there's a lot to program in this car. Traction control, camera, parking sensors, stop start, engine start button, M mode, setup, exhaust, auto hold, electric parking brake, iDrive controller with a lot of buttons, which is amazing. First and foremost, this software has been updated. So now we have got iDrive 8.5 from iDrive 8, which means better voice commands. In fact, you've got a 3D view here as well, which is just amazing. The quality of the camera is super nice. In fact, this camera will automatically turn when it detects an obstacle. So it will come to the side, it will just keep changing, which is just amazing. Yeah, the camera of BMW cars is just mind-blowing. In fact, the color is also the same. So when you turn on the car for the first time, now first thing it will say is that full power will be available shortly. So no longer you can do a cold start, because when the engine is cold, it will not give you the full power to rev it. So that comes here. That also comes in the heads-up display. Secondly, this screen shows an amazing graphic. The M logo and all that comes here. Even here, it shows amazing graphic. The car will come here, and it is again orange color. So amazing attention to detail. You've got reversing assistant, you've got self-park, got all of that as well. Amazing cameras. In fact, this is a very slick screen to use. You've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both of which actually work wirelessly. You've got a compass, you get a lot of data, engine data and all that. You can add widgets here. But let's come to this menu, because there's a lot to explore here. So it's got the M Driver Professional, which gives you the M Drift Analyzer. You can see how your drifts have been, which is quite cool. There's the M Lap Timer as well. You can time yourself, which only works on the track obviously. There's personal assistant, there's the digital key, there's this live vehicle, so you can just keep spinning the vehicle. If you're just feeling bored, you can do that as well. In fact, I've applied the brakes right now. That's why you can see the brakes applied. Is it? So let's give an indicator. It is showing me that the indicator has been activated. That's how accurate it is. You can get into the various data like sport displays and all that. The speaker system in this car is just amazing. The Harman Kardon speakers are superb in terms of quality. Auto dimming mirror, obviously. Some physical controls. This is for the volume controller, and this is to turn on and off the audio system. This is to go to the next track, previous track, hazard lights and air conditioning, defogger settings and all that. Thankfully some physical buttons, but a lot of them have been shifted here, even for the climate control, which is a bit frustrating if you ask me. Dual zone climate control, air conditioning system. Yeah, air conditioning is a chiller here. So if I press this button, I can get into the seat heating as well as the, one second, where is it gone? It keeps getting managed. So seat heating as well as steering heating, which is something which we really don't need in India, to be honest. Yeah, it's a very easy system to browse once you get the hang of it, because a lot of things are actually hidden into the menu. Interior lighting has got 9 colors. 9 colors is like 56 colors too less when compared to Mercedes, which offers 64 colors for the ambient lighting. And here obviously you can change the display, because first and foremost you get a lot of information here. So I can actually go here and change what all I want to see. So I can get into the setup, I can get into the maps, I can get into the route preview. So much information is available. So this car is very, very, very complex actually. You get a G-force meter as well, and I will obviously change the display when I'm driving. So I can change this display as well. If I get into the M mode here, I can decide if I want the sport display. So there it changes. I can get into the track setting. Oh god, it doesn't even let me do anything. Before anything, it keeps changing it. And there it is, the track setting. That is the tire pressure monitor. On track, you don't want to be distracted, so this actually shuts. And then when I get into the setup thing, I realize there's so many things to configure here. This car is really very, very, very distracting. Just way too much information. You just get confused. Controls for the audio system, controls for the cruise control obviously, because this car has got really advanced cruise control, adaptive cruise control. ADAS is their level 2. In fact, it can read the signals and tell you that the signal has turned green. That is the level of information it has. So it's an information overload. But in terms of changes when compared to the older M4, not much has really changed. It's become slicker, the whole system. In fact, if I say hello C63 killer,
hello,
sport displays.
the sport displays can only be displayed in a sporty M mode. Let me know if I should activate them for you.
Yes, please. She vanished. but I've actually programmed this whole system for the BMW assistant to respond when I call it the C63 AMG killer. Otherwise, you can just say, hey BMW, and it gets activated on its own. So all these funky things you can do, you can really customize this car, for which you need a lot of time, because it is obviously very complex as such. I love the seats. They're super comfortable. They're super nice. They hold you tight, obviously. And the whole screens are just super high resolution as well. AC vents are also quite easy to operate, which is also quite cool and similar to what is there on newer BMW cars. The maps are just amazing. Look at the quality of the maps. Mind-blowing. Yeah, the kind of tech in this car is amazing, and it tells you that the earth is round. I've spun it so many times that I'm getting chakkar now. By the way, check this out. Revs past 7,000 RPM in neutral. No soft limiter here. Yeah, BMW. That's why we love you so much. The horn is also nice. Let's start driving right away. Alright, it is time to start driving, which means I'm just going to turn on the vehicle. Oh my god, it rose to life completely. It says full drive power available shortly, which is quite weird. It's telling me that I've buckled up. In fact, if I open the door now, it shows exactly which door is open, and it also gives me a warning if someone is in my blind spot right here. Now, it does not get any sort of gesture control, because gesture controls are actually optional, because when you increase the volume, it will actually show you that there's an option of gesture, but there is none here. And below here, there's some storage space as well. Twin cup holders. There's a USB-A charging socket, which means that wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto can be connected only by USB-A, not by USB-C, because the center one does not work for wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, which is quite disappointing. There's a wireless charging pad here, but this is super duper smooth. I quite like it. Let's actually get into drive mode, and straight away we are going to be launching this car, because that's the real fun of a BMW M4 to be precise. And I've actually programmed the car completely, so when I am in M1 mode, everything is absolutely bonkers. But before we move, let me actually get into park and show you this amazing feature of this car. Revs beyond 7,000 RPM. There is no soft limiter here. Anyways, we get into drive mode. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Revving the motor, revs to 3,000 RPM. Oh my god. Absolutely bonkers acceleration. The engine is just mind-blowing. The performance will blow your mind. The way it accelerates, next level. And then around the corners, it feels super duper stable as well. It is just amazing in terms of the handling capability of this car. You don't feel the weight of this car. You don't feel there's a turbocharger either. That is the level of performance, and the brakes are also very strong. Okay, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, hazard lights off. Every gear shift is like slammed right inside to give you an upshift. That is the level of performance. It's mind-blowing, yeah. What an engine. In fact, when I drove the M3, I loved it. But this one is like 2 levels above the M3. You know why? Because this very engine is the same, but it has more power. However, the big difference here is that it's running on road tires and not on winter tires, so it's running on normal tires, and that's the reason the performance is just mind-blowing. Now you'll notice one thing, there is this look and go signboard right there, so very advanced ADAS system in this car. I think they have taken a leaf or two out of Tesla for sure. So when I'm coming here, all of a sudden this thing should detect, yeah, it detects here and tells me I need to stop. This is a place to stop. That is how cool it is. We're going to make a quick U-turn here. Turning radius is a bit of a bitch for sure, especially when compared to the other car I'm driving. But yeah, I kind of managed it quite well. And I'm going to stop here, and we're going to launch it again. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Amazing is an understatement with the level of performance. The way this car pulls is mind-blowing to say the least. My god, what an engine. So free revving. Doesn't feel like a turbo at all. It just relentlessly keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. I am in love with this engine. I never thought that an engine which is not a V8 can be so good in terms of performance. Now obviously we will try and do a top speed later, because these are like smaller roads, just to test the handling and also do launch, because I can do a lot of launches. The kind of speeds it manages, the way it pulls, the thrust and everything is mind-blowing to say the least. What an engine, what an engine, and what an engine. The way it revs is amazing. So it's time for one more launch. This time I'm going to put it into sport mode. Yeah, sport mode. activated, which means manual shifts, and I'm just going to increase that, and off we go. Oh, I can't keep up with the shifts because the engine revs so fast now. But I think enough of going bananas by launching it. Let's head to the German Autobahn. Hey BMW, sport displays. That
Sport
is
displays.
the de-restriction sign. We get into M1 mode and off we go. Ho ho ho! This car makes me a Santa Claus because I'm always like ho-ho-hoing all the time because this engine is just mind-blowing. So there are a lot of things which you can change, but you can't change that BMW X1 blocking you like that. That's the xDrive 23i, which has no power at all. Anyways, this is a 3-liter straight-six petrol engine which is known as the S58B30. This one gets a boost of 20 horsepower. So this one is now producing 530 horsepower. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, the performance is just mind-numbing. This engine doesn't feel turbocharged at all. Yeah, it doesn't feel turbocharged because there is no turbo lag, so to speak, even though this has a 48-volt mild hybrid system. Okay, it is moving around a bit because the road is not the smoothest. German roads are de-restricted, but definitely not the smoothest. 250 kilometers per hour comes up in a flash. You're not part throttle now. The engine just pulls mind-blowingly fast. Yeah, 280 kilometers per hour. No hesitation. That is the kind of performance it has to offer. It is mind-numbingly quick, and there is a lot of wind noise. You can hear a little bit of the tire noise can be heard as well. Now this engine, obviously I was telling you, makes 530 horsepower, 20 horsepower has been increased, 650 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.5 seconds. And the top speed is 250 kilometers per hour, but with the M drivers package, it goes to 290 kilometers per hour. Along with the M drivers package, BMW will also give you 1 day of training. Yeah, that is also something which they do. Beyond 250 kilometers per hour, you have to bump up the tire pressure a bit, which I have done in this car right now, hoping to hit higher top speeds. The engine is super smooth. It actually sounds nice, although some sounds are piped in from the speakers, but the sound which is actually piped in from the speakers happen to be the original sound coming from the exhaust only. That has been piped, no artificial sound, so to speak. And car is absolutely stiff. Right now the mode I'm driving in, super duper stiff. 8-speed ZF sourced automatic gearbox. Previous generation M4 actually had a 7-speed DCT gearbox. So I'll tell you where is the difference. The 2014 model of the M4, which was the first M4, that was when BMW converted the 3 Series into another model known as the 4 Series for the coupe and convertible. This is obviously the coupe version. The convertible is actually slower by I think 0.2 seconds. So it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.7 seconds. Has a lesser top speed as well. We will top out at I think 280 kilometers per hour because obviously that soft top is going to flap here and there. And the engine revs all the way till 7,000 RPM. ADAS is very, very, very aggressive here, which is fantastic. I love the way BMW is doing ADAS. Not very intrusive and yet gets the job done. Obviously, you've got paddle shifters here. You can manually take control of the gearbox. So it will not upshift unless and until you decide to do so. So yeah, that it gives you complete control of things. Wipers work brilliantly well. That's showing me how much power and torque I'm using in real time. This is not the flagship version of the M4. There is an M4 CS as well, which has 550 horsepower, 20 horsepower more than this particular car, and it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.4 seconds. That's 0.1 second faster as well. The top speed of that car is I think 300 plus kilometers per hour because it's lighter by 20 kgs as well. The weight of this car is 1850 kgs. All-wheel drive definitely adds some weight to this car. Yeah, I think around 55 kgs because of the all-wheel drive system, and when compared to the older M4, this one is around 150 kgs heavier as well. Low profile tires, so the ride is not the best. It has got adaptive dampers. There's no air suspension, and the damping is quite stiff in the most aggressive mode. So I can change so many parameters in this car. You need one full day to sit and program things here because there are so many things which can actually be changed in this vehicle. Lot of confusing bits as well in the M setup. Now I don't like this cluster mode. I don't like the cluster only because I think BMW's lost its charm in terms of offering good clusters. Now they offer you these weird clusters which are just not good. Remains very stable at higher speed somehow, and the punch from the engine will blow your mind. This engine is just phenomenal. Yeah, it is amazing. So like I was telling you, the CS obviously is more expensive but gives you much better performance as well because the CS is a CS is a CS. CS stands for Competition Sport. CSL stands for Competition Sport Lightweight, which was available with the pre-facelifted model, which was actually producing, guess how much power? 600 horsepower, and that was rear wheel drive. So this is 4-wheel drive, and X drive obviously means that little bit more in terms of weight. Okay, there's some roadworks ahead, so we're going to slow down a bit. Look at the aggressive downshifts. My goodness, the downshifts are like super aggressive here. Okay, de-restriction has started again, and I was actually changing the M mode here, so get a bit confused with the buttons because they are so many things to set up in this car. It's too much of confusion for anyone, so we're just going to get into the road one here, and I'm actually going to change this mode to the G-force meter. I actually cannot see much because the way the whole design of this car is done is quite weird. Okay, this setup is open right now, but we're going to come to M1 mode and off we go. What all can you change? You can actually change the engine characteristic between efficient, sport and sport plus. The chassis can be either comfort, either it can be sport or sport plus. Steering can be comfort or sport. Brake can also be altered between comfort and sport. And the X-Drive system, you can either be in 4-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive sport, which is MDM, M dynamic mode, and then you can turn it off and go rear-wheel drive only. Yeah, it can become rear-wheel drive only, and it's very handful there. 0 to 200 kilometers per hour comes up in 11.8 seconds. For the CS model, 11.1 second. Obviously, all that power somewhere it's going to be used. And then you can actually alter the M traction mode also when you turn off the DSC. So there are like 10 modes for this thing. You can decide how much traction you want, and then obviously you can go drifting as well. So way too many things to actually change here. There's something known as M sound. You can configure the M sound too, and it's mind-blowing how complex a car has become, but thankfully it stays true to its own self, because this is the last of the BMWs to actually not have any battery assist. I think it has a 48 volt mild hybrid system. I'm not too sure because there's a start stop button here with the cars which have a 48 volt mild hybrid. That start stop button is removed because automatically the car keeps going on battery power and tries to conserve energy as well. Yeah, you can feel a lot of the road because low profile tires now not really helpful here. So I'm just waiting for a nice straight patch of road to give it the beans, but I'm not being able to get a real clean patch of road today somehow. And around the corners at those high speeds you feel a bit hairy because the steering has lost the communication which it had earlier. So BMWs are definitely getting softer, but this car is still very well put together in the sense that it feels stiff, it feels really glued to the road, although it feels a bit bouncy, and that's the time when you want to correct it a bit. The tires definitely offer good amount of grip here, but these are more focused towards road driving, definitely not for driving on such roads which are a little bad. Actually at these speeds I'm feeling the road is bad, not definitely for wet roads either. So as I see it, the M4 is a fantastic car. Price is rupees 1.82 crores on road Mumbai, which is expensive because 21 lakhs is the registration, 6.2 lakhs is the first year insurance cost. So yeah, that gets expensive. You're seeing these numbers 100 and all that. That is only if it is raining. Right now it is not raining, so I can absolutely pelt this car at full whack. What a car, what a car, what a car. I love the steering also. This red in the center, which is quite cool. This M colors here, which also look quite cool. The M on the gear lever also looks super duper nice, and oh my god, it's getting bouncy. It's just super duper stiff. So you can configure a lot of things. So I've actually programmed the M mode right now, so here I can also alter whether I want the start stop system to work or just keep it off. So many things to do. Yeah, this is just like an overload of information right here. And it has a 59 liter fuel tank, and trust me, it guzzles fuel. When you drive at higher speeds like I am right now, it will return around 3 to 4 kilometers per liter. So yeah, it is quite a drinker. Drinks like bucket loads of fuel when you're driving it at high speeds, and this V-Class has no chill at all, diving right in front of me. But that's fine because we've hit another speed limit of 120 kilometers per hour right now, and then it will come to 100 kilometers per hour, then it will come to 80 kilometers per hour, because I suspect there happens to be some exit here. Yeah, there's an exit here. So every time there's an exit now, the German Autobahn will be like, bas kar bhai, thoda chill kar le. Engine is so effortless in pulling now, it's unbelievable. So this car is now running on 100 octane fuel, very expensive, 25 rupees per liter more expensive than the regular fuel, but completely worth it because it obviously gives me much more performance so that I can pelt the car. Yeah, the engine works better on higher octane, high compression ratio obviously. car is made for. Like all the M's and AMGs and RS models are made to go full throttle on the German Autobahn and maintain those speeds comfortably as well. It has to be a cyclist who will come and ruin the fun. It does 297. It will not touch 300 because it's limited to do 90 kilometers per hour, 280 kilometers, somewhere around that, and then obviously the limiter kicks in right there. Also very fast. Yeah, it's unbelievably quick. If it was not limited, this car would easily go past 320 kilometers per hour. That is the kind of performance it has. Yeah, it's unbelievable. The level of thrust, oh my god, I'm in love with the M4, but I'm kind of speechless as well. This requires too much concentration. I've never held a steering wheel this hard and this tight, because at those speeds you just want to claw it there. Whew. So basically there are three variants of this car. There is the M4 base, which is rear wheel drive, as well as having a manual gearbox, a 6-speed manual gearbox, 480 horsepower, 550 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.2 seconds. That will be a hoot to drive because of the manual. And then you opt for the automatic, which is the one we have right here. But there's a variant between the base and the M4 competition, which is the regular M4 non-competition version, which gets rear wheel drive too. So lower variants get rear wheel drive. That gets the automatic gearbox option, power pump to 510 horsepower and 650 Newton meters of torque, resulting in 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 3.9 seconds. That's 4.2. This is 3.5 seconds. So some of the markets have dropped rear wheel drive, some of them have also dropped manual completely. So by default you will get this car with an automatic gearbox option with all-wheel drive. Although this really doesn't need all-wheel drive because the traction levels are fantastic. It only adds weight, but the grip levels are too good. However, this car is more oversteery than understeery, because of which you have to be a little careful while driving it. Get hard onto the throttle, it will slide, and it will slide, and how, and then probably, oh my god, the sound, what is this sound? It's so amazing. It's starting to rain right now, but I have just thoroughly enjoyed driving this car. What a car, what a car. I'm in absolute love with it. It is phenomenal in the way it drives. It even gets a 3D printed cylinder head so that it can withstand high injection pressure. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. I'm a bit disappointed. I was hoping to hit 300 kilometers per hour, but this car is limited at 297 kilometers per hour. We need to unlock the limiter, and we need to unlock it right away. Cries in tears. Which also brings me to the fact that this is basically the exact same car as the BMW M3. Only thing is it's a sexier looking version of the BMW M3. Although they now have the 4 Series, which is basically coupe and convertible, known as the G22. G20 is the 3 Series and G80 is the M3. This is the G82, which is the coupe version of the M4, and the convertible version is known as the G83. Look at me, I'm telling you things which could come in your NEET exams. So yeah, please listen to them very carefully. So this guy is exactly the same as the M3, not much in terms of the difference. However, it's just more sexier, more appealing, less practical, but equally as fast as the M3, because the engine remains the same. A 3 Series on absolute steroids. There you could see the ADAS warning. So ADAS system works phenomenally well in this car. All the warnings which come here are just amazing, and then I mean, speechless, honestly speechless. What a car, and what an amazing car. Absolutely love the BMW M4. I mean, I've always liked M cars, but I never knew I would love the M4 so much. So I made a video on the M2, the M3, the M4, the M5, the M5 competition, and the M8 X5M as well, which means that I made a video on almost every M car possible. That makes me a true BMW fanboy. Every time it shifts, now it's like slamming into the next gear. If this car had wings, it would have taken off by now, because the level of thrust, OMG, I am absolutely baffled that what a phenomenal machine this is. Okay, we'll get into manual mode. So right now we are in manual mode, and listen to this, okay? It will not upshift unless and until I decide to do so, giving me complete manual control of things. I don't know what this Volkswagen Carry is trying to do, but it's not carrying any emotions right now because it's coming in my way, trying to come in my way rather. The gearing is like really tall as expected. Even Pat Throttle gets the job done, because that is the level of thrust this car has to offer. Absolutely phenomenal machine. 250 in an absolute flash. I'm just flying without wings. Bye bye.